Hello everyone, thanks for joining me on this beautiful spring day. It's a little chilly out right now, but it's kind of end of April right now, so everything is just starting to come alive. A lot of the plants are starting to sprout out of the ground, the trees are starting to get leaves on them, and there's some early spring flowers that are starting to bloom. So my goal today is to head down to a couple of different wetland areas and see if I can find anything to photograph. There's already some early migrants that have arrived in the area, specifically pine warblers. They're one of the first warblers to show up. But there's also some Louisiana water thrush that are singing around the water as well. So I'm just going to head down to these wetland areas and see if I can photograph any of these species. Now I'm headed out to the wetland areas because for a couple of reasons. This time of year, those habitats are some of the first ones to start sprouting a lot of vegetation. So there's some species of plants that sprout really early, specifically skunk cabbage. So there's a lot more vegetation around these wet areas that sprout early. And also there's going to be some more insects there as well because of the water. So there's going to be some more bird activity, and hopefully there'll be maybe some mammal activity. We might get really lucky and have some black bears coming and foraging on the skunk cabbage, but time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. But I just need to kind of trudge through here and get to these wetland areas, and then we're going to set up and see what we can find. So let's get to it. Coming up to my first kind of marshy area, and I hear a water thrush calling. There it is. I don't know if you can hear it. So I'm just going to try to find a way to kind of quietly get through these pines here. Well, the water thrush is still calling behind me, but it sounds like it's high up in the tree, probably just kind of advertising its location. But in front of me, I have some hermit thrushes in this tangle of branches right in front of me. So they're starting to come closer towards me. So I'm hoping that they're just going to perch on these logs that are kind of strewn on the ground, and I'll be able to get something nice. This one thrush is coming nice and close to me. I gotten a little distracted with the hermit thrush and hearing that water thrush, but the water thrush did start singing again behind me. It's a really small wetland area. It's a very small, just wet section, and I don't think I'm going to have much luck finding it because it seems like it's high up in the tree, and there's not really much opportunities to photograph much. So I'm going to continue on and head over to the marshy area that I initially planned on and see what we can find. If you're looking to improve your photography and naturalist skills this spring and summer, I offer guided sessions, which is basically a one-on-one session with me and you. We go out to whatever habitat you choose and a location you choose, and we go and find and photograph wildlife. Now we can do all sorts of different things. I have more information in my website, and I'll have a link down below in the description. But we talk about photography tips, settings, how to approach and find wildlife, different techniques that there are in photographing the wildlife. Also all sorts of naturalist skills as well, being able to identify habitats and just have an understanding of what kind of wildlife you can find at different habitats. So if this is something that interests you, again, I have a link down below in the description and more information on my website. You can fill out a form, it gets emailed to me, and then I'll reach back out to you and we'll set something up. So let me know, I'd love to hear from you. this is wild. There's a pair of red-shouldered hawks that just swooped down through the trees as I was hiking along the trail. And, oh, there they are again. They just did a food transfer, and they were just perched right on a tree above me. And now they're on top of a pine tree. I need to move and see if I can get this. Hold on. Both perched right on top of a pine tree now. Just want to see if I can. Need to find an opening through the trees. This isn't a very good shot. I threw a whole bunch of sticks, but I wanted to make sure I got something. All right, I'm going to continue on. So the first wetland area that I was at, I didn't have any success. The water level was still really low. We've had a good amount of rain this spring, but we're still in a deficit from last year. We just were really dry last year. So the wet area that was traditionally usually pretty wet and had some water in it was mostly dry. So I'm gonna head down to a larger wetland area. I think we'll have more success and see if we can get anything that way. This has just been a really nice day for unexpected finds. I was hiking down along the trail and there were some downy woodpeckers and some stuff, and I was trying to photograph them. Didn't have much success because they went high up into the tree. But then I heard this loud hammering on a tree. It sounded like a pileated woodpecker. And so I just continued on down, and there's a pileated woodpecker that's hammering away on a dead log on the ground right in front of me. It's still pretty far away, so I put on my 2x teleconverter just so I could get a little bit more magnification and not have to approach too close. And it's not a very good shot because I'm kind of shooting through a lot of brush, but it's still really nice. This is really, really cool. Another unexpected find. I was waiting for the pileated woodpecker because it was still in the area, and I kept hearing this tapping, and I thought it was a woodpecker, but then I saw a pair of black cap chickadees that kept flying off and then flying back into this tree, and I kind of went around, and there's a little cavity that they're building up in this top of this tree for a nest. So I've set myself up here. I've gotten a couple nice clips of video of them, and now I've actually have my Z9 set up for auto capture. I'm going to try to get some still photos of them. I'm trying to do this auto capture because I think they'll have a better reaction time than I will of trying to get the bird coming in, but we're going to see. All right, I have left the chickadees building their nest. I was trying out the auto capture, and I only had a couple opportunities where they actually came and flew to the nest. They're definitely not as active as they were, but I didn't have the camera settings set up correctly. I've only used the auto capture once before. Nothing for as small as a chickadee. They're so small, so fast. So I don't think I had the camera settings correctly dialed in. So I'll have to try that more often. But they're not very active, so I'm going to move on. I've gotten kind of sidetracked in what my original plan was today, so now I'm headed back down to the marsh now. It's clouded over nicely, so we'll see if we can find anything once we get back down towards the water. But just a lot of unexpected finds today, so hopefully that'll continue, and we'll keep getting some interesting stuff. I'm almost back down to the marsh, and I found some, looks like barred owl feathers on the ground. So I'm wondering if maybe there's one that kind of perches up here somewhere. There's a lot of oaks and pines, so it's likely maybe it was perched up on one of these trees and was preening. I actually heard one calling farther away, but it's really nice when you see things on the forest floor. Well, I've been down along this wet area for about 2 hours now, and I haven't had any luck. The activity's really died down, even with birds. I don't hear many birds anymore. And I found a nice pocket where there was a lot of skunk cabbage. There were some spots where the skunk cabbage was eaten a little bit, indicating that probably black bears were there, and there was a huge amount of black bear scat all around the area as well. So I kind of camped out there for a little while, waited to see if anything would happen, and nothing really happened. So I came back out and kind of have been following this brook for a while now. Still no luck. There's some birds calling high up into the trees, and I kind of went back into the forest a little bit to see if I had any luck there, and just still no luck. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I just had a lot of unexpected finds and encounters on my way down to the marsh area, and that's just how it goes sometimes. You just have to take advantage of what you find, and kind of had a little taste of spring this morning. There's just so much more activity than there has been recently, and in the next couple of weeks we're going to have a lot more activity with migration starting, and a lot of all the migrants are going to be coming in the next couple of weeks, and a lot of the vegetation is going to start leafing out, and it's just going to be a really great time for photography and just enjoying nature and being out in nature. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next couple of videos where we're going to be getting pretty busy doing this photography. So I'll see you then.